All right,
Sounds good.
so we're live right now. Okay, so I got here a fellow subscriber by the name of Rantes James Escher. How's it?
Let me run it by with you how it's actually supposed to sound. It's my first name is James, my middle name is Rantes, and my last name is Escher. So, but
Escher.
yeah, but when I made my YouTube channel a while ago, they just had it set up that way, and I just kept it that way. So that's how it's supposed to sound.
All right, sweet. What inspired you to make videos on like philosophy, your single life, and stuff like that?
Well, basically, I just thought that, I here's the thing about me personally is
Oh,
that when I'm not working and I'm not doing my routine of exercising or practicing my DJing or reading books, a lot of times when I just chill out and hang out, I like to think about things out loud. And I might go out for a walk and think about things more deeply because that's just part of who I am. I don't like to spend a lot of my time just going ahead and doing stupid stuff.
mm-hmm.
Like I like to spend my time just thinking more deeply about things that go through life because that's just part of how I tick. And I have had people in my family go and said, "You talk out loud all the time," and they think it's kind of weird and whatever.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, maybe a better way for me to express my opinions so that other people can hear it would probably be doing a YouTube channel and just uploading videos of stuff that I have to think about and I think I have to say, which I honestly think has some substance to it, and which others might get something out of, or that could make them realize, hey, I'm not the only person in the world who thinks the same way as I do. So it's not necessarily for money or getting famous or whatever. I could care less about being someone like Jake Paul or PewDiePie. It's you
Yeah.
know, if I wanted to be like those guys, I would have to compromise myself and honestly appeal to like the lowest level of maturity and intelligence, which is what those guys are, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
so that's why, I just care about expressing myself and just being able to get, in a way, a message out there and seeing if others can get something out of. Like,
All right.
obviously, I mean, you've gotten a lot about my videos, and I've gotten some stuff out of your videos.
Yeah.
So that's my main intention with my videos.
All right. So, quick question is that since you live a like so-called single lifestyle, do you ever get shaming tactics by fellow friends or family that just question your lifestyle and just ask you when you're gonna get married, have a girlfriend, have a bunch of kids, stuff like that?
Well, here's the thing. In my family, I let them know all the time what's going on with me. I mean, I talk with my grandparents on a regular basis. I talk with my mom on a regular basis and my dad. And, the thing is, they understand where I'm doing and where I'm coming from, and they're fine. They can see that I'm taking my time to get to know myself, understand who I am and where I want to go with my life, and that once I get more settled with myself, which I've been more so, especially for the past 3 years, then I am more likely to find someone who, in a way, is like my soulmate. And as I said before in one of my videos, a relationship for me, as far as an intimate relationship, is a want, not a need. Because as I explained, you need to have a good relationship with yourself and to love yourself before anything else. And people in my family get that. And I've even seen people in my family and friends who they skip over that need of loving and yourself and being happy with yourself, and they go into relationships out of desperation and as a way to fill a void.
Hmm.
And I just think it doesn't matter for me what other people think about me. I just care about what I think about myself. And I don't listen to anyone else trying to change me into something that I'm not, unless
Yeah.
they actually have something to say. So if it's even like people who are my friends, my family say, hey, this is where I'm coming from. These are my reasons. And most of the time they understand it. If they don't get it, then whatever, you know, it is what it is.
How do they ever try to like hook you up with their friends? Like they met a random girl and be like, hey, there's a girl that I want you to get to know, and stuff like that. Like in a rage relationship or a rage slash marriage, like try to propose you or offer you something.
What do you think? I'm from the Middle East? I'm not that way. But, you know, it's, nah, I mean, I just, that has never happened to me. You know, if they have someone who's like a match for me, be careful, Rantes. You don't
Yeah.
think I know? You don't think I know based on what I've seen from other people? I mean, with Jeff Bezos getting a $60 billion divorce settlement, losing almost half of his money to his ex-wife, you don't think I know? Jesus Christ, man.
I'm praying for
But
you, Rantes. I'm praying for you. Hope you're safe. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's whatever. You know, if a close friend of mine says, "Hey, there's this girl that I think you're gonna like. You ought to meet her," I'll give her a chance. You know, but if it's not clicking and she doesn't have what I'm looking to offer and blah 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 blah, then bye bye. I'm good.
Yeah, you should do like a little bit like detective work if you're trying to meet a girl. Like, what's her background, why she's interested you in the first place. Like, get a little Batman detective background before you're like, oh, okay, she's interested in me. So this is it. This is over with my bachelor. Like, it's like, oh, you gotta do a little detective work. Detective work.
Yeah, of course. I
You
mean,
gotta.
because you know that there are certain women out there, not all women, but certain women that they pretend to be interested in you and they like you, but because they want something from you. I mean, what happened with Rob Kardashian and that hoe? What's her name again?
Oh, you're talking
Black
about
China.
Black China. Yep,
Yeah,
correct.
I mean, look at that as an example. Come on, man. You know, she was pretending to be interested in you and giving up the pussy and doing, and
Used
you
and
gave
used.
her all these things and she fucked you over big time. I'm not all women are that way, but there are certain women that are like that out there. And the fact that, you know, women like Black China or Amber Rose and Kim Kardashian are so much praised nowadays, you know, it makes these young girls think, oh, I can be like them and use boys to get what I want. But it's like, no, thank you. I'm good. You know, if
So
you
do
try
you,
to,
so do you believe in unicorns per se? The unicorn part?
what do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about, to be honest with you.
Mean the perfect girl where like, oh, she's the one. She hasn't have any body counts. She's a virgin, whatever you call it. Like someone that they have no bad trait in them. Like it's a perfect girl. Do you believe in that
Absolutely,
sort of way?
absolutely not, because everyone's going to have some baggage and some imperfections and some slight things that can get on your nerves. But I think about it like this: is that you are your own person, and no one else is going to be exactly like you. So there's going to be people that you'll come across, you know, that might understand you to maybe at most a 75 percentile, but no one's going to totally click with you. And that's just how it can be in relationships. But I mean, as long as I think about it like this, as long as the foundation between the both of you is the same, you both care and love for each other, and you want to bring the best in one another and grow in life, that's what really matters. I mean, you might not listen to the same type of music or like the same type of food all the time, or watch the same type of movies, but if there's a common ground as far as a deeper foundation, I think that's more so worthwhile going into. So I don't think that there is such a thing as unicorns. If it does happen to you, you are one of the very, 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 very few people to come across something like that. But for most of us, that's not the case. So, you just got to learn to accept it.
Yep.
That's just how it is.
So who's your favorite? Who you listen to right now that keep you from staying in trouble, or at least give you memories or knowledge of like, okay, you know, like these are the type of women that I listen to from content creators often, at least.
As far as specifically women, or are you talking
Yeah,
about?
female nature. It could be red pill, MGTOW, black pill type videos that talk about female nature and stuff.
Well, I mean, I watched a lot of Tom Likas, like retro Tom Likas radio programs, which he talks about, the things that women do with divorce and relationships. And I mean, it's not as though it's something that I'm totally ignorant to, but he goes into a lot of detail about stuff like that, red flags with women, and how women nowadays are not the same as they used to be generations ago, in which basically, say for my grandparents' generation, growing up in like the early 20th century, women were expected to be a man's support and be a man's cheerleader. And, you do the wifely duties of being a good wife, taking care of the kids and clean up the house. I mean, you don't have that anymore. I mean, women want to go ahead and have a career, go into the workplace and whatever, which I think is okay to a certain it's fine to a certain extent if you want to do something that, if that's what makes you happy and you have a strong purpose in that regard in life. But if you're a woman who basically says, "Oh, I don't need men. Men are scum, and I don't want to have kids," and blah 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 blah,
Yeah.
whatever. That's starting to become more so the norm nowadays, I think, and especially with a lot of women, it's you had to wait years ago, generations ago. You had to wait a long time before you had before you. Well, how can I put it? You know, you weren't supposed to give yourselves away so easily back then. Otherwise, you'd be considered a whore. But girls, the culture nowadays, as far as I'm concerned, girls are more likely to give themselves away to a guy within a few days, and then that can lead to some negative consequences in which to become a single mom. And I've seen that with a lot of girls around my age. There are girls that I've seen at work that are cute, that they have a twinkle in their eye for me,
Hmm.
but then I see their background as far as they got kids and all this other stuff. It's like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that's
So
why it's important for background. You got to see women like a resume. You're the company, and if you want to hire good quality employees, you got to look at their background. How many, like they always look at employment gaps. So
mhm.
if you haven't stick to that company for longer, they're afraid of hiring you because you're going to do the same thing for their company and wasting their money for their employees.
And it's the same thing with
It's the same
friends too.
thing with, yeah, of course. So yeah,
That's it. With all relationships that you have, I mean, say for example, I mean, my close friends, I don't have no more than probably 4 or 5 people I consider my friends, because I told myself a long time ago I would much rather have some very few close friends than a bunch of superficial acquaintances, because those superficial acquaintances are not going to be there to help you when you are really, really in need. And especially, I remember I watched this one Drink Champs episode with Ari Spears, and he brought up a good point. A
oh,
friend
good
is,
good comedian. Yeah, good
yeah,
comedian.
he's really cool. But he said in the interview with Drink Champs, a friend is someone that will help to bury you when you're dead. So that's how I approach my relationships as far as my friends. Are these people who I know I can count on and trust, you know, or they're just trying to get something they want from me? So that's my approach to all my relationships. You
Oh,
got to understand this too, as I said before, is that there's some people in your family that are like that. I got to tell people no sometimes, even though we're family, because I know that they're just trying to get what they can from others.
yep, correct,
You
correct.
know,
Yep, totally. So, how long you been pretty much a bachelor? Have you been bachelor long term or like short term? Like,
Well, I never been married, and to be honest with you, AJ, I mean, I never had a long-term serious relationship because when I was younger, I didn't have very much confidence with myself and who I was. And it's been that way for a while. But going through the stuff that I went through, especially the recent few years, has helped me to become stronger and more focused with who I am. And I'm much more I can say that I'm more confident as far as finding a woman, but I'm waiting for the right type of woman. And really, the longest relationship I probably had was when I was going out with a girl for a month down in Costa Rica, and she was a beautiful, beautiful black girl from the Bahamas, and she was studying for a degree in North Carolina, South Carolina, eh, but she went over to the same Spanish language school where I was for a month, and we were both interested in studying Spanish. And her name was Aaliyah. And I could tell that she had an interest in me because I would joke around and have fun in the class, and she would laugh, you know. And you can tell when a girl likes you when she looks at you and she smiles and gives you that look. And I went up to her and I said after class, "So did your mom name you after the R&B singer Aaliyah?" She said, "No, but people ask me all the time."
Oh yeah.
And then, we hit it off from there. I would hang out with her at the school, and I took her out to a few dates, and but we couldn't like go to a hotel or something because we were both in the school program in which we had homestay families and we weren't allowed to sleep over, but we hung out at school and I got to know her quite a bit. And I remember the last day I took her on, we went to downtown San Jose in Costa Rica. It was really, really nice. We we took the bus on down because, of course, we didn't have a car. Then we went to this movie theater that looked like it was built in the early 20th century, like an old, really old looking Roman architecture sort of theater. But the movie that we saw was like a World War II war movie, and I thought, if you don't want to watch this, we can just go. And she agreed, and I took her on out to this really exceptional Asian fusion restaurant in downtown that was vegan because she was vegan. Even though I am a omnivore, I thought she was some I can compromise with her and give something that's vegan. And she was just a really, really sweet, loving woman. I could tell that she would have been a good wife and a good mom if I had kids
So
with her.
do you believe in chameleon?
Chameleon,
Yeah, you ever
as
heard
in
the term chameleon? As in they
they
do
put on
some.
a face.
Yeah, they put an act, a face until you give it a year or 2 months later, they become something. They fool you into something they're not. So
Oh, of course
meaning
I do.
meaning they act like a true girlfriend or true wife, but something changed. Their personality changed. So much
Yeah.
options in their life. Something is going on to where they're back to where they actually are, themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe that. It's just the way that I was interacting with her on a constant basis and the way that she carried herself around others. She was a really sweet lady, but I mean, potentially that could happen too. I mean, that's just how it is. A lot of people just put on faces in order to try to fit in. Midway.
Midway.
What are you talking about? Successful endeavors. You
Midway.
got to go. Are you talking about a movie? What are you talking about? Go into further details so I can understand what you're saying.
Midway.
I'm waiting. Elaborate. What we got?
Yeah.
Anyways,
90-day pro.
yeah, I can agree upon that. Got to wait for a few months or so. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to go ahead and marry a girl within a few months as I've seen other guys do, and it ends up being a big mistake. I don't plan on getting married for a long time.
The
The
newest
newest
remake.
of the
Midway.
Midway movie.
Oh, I never heard of it. Never heard of it.
I don't know. I think that was a movie that my younger brother wants to see because he likes all those war movies. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I don't plan on getting married for a long time, at least not until I'm in my mid 30s. But even if I do, She's
So
got to
are
sign the
you
prenup.
are you afraid of being alone?
No, I'm not, because even with because I like being alone, because I think that when you're by yourself, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want whenever you want. You get the time to be able to enjoy yourself and figure out more so who you are, like I'm doing.
Hmm.
And I have a few close friends that I hang out with. I call them up and we hang out maybe once a month. But for the most part, I am a lone wolf. I'm a soloist. So I'm used to being alone and I enjoy my own solitude. I enjoy my own peace and serenity and um, self reflection, put it that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I stay alone, I mean, let me put it this way: it's not about who you're with, but what you do with your life. That's what I think is most important. Because, I mean, there are guys throughout history that have never been in a serious relationship with women, like Nikola Tesla or who else? Isaac Newton or Leonardo da Vinci. But they ended up doing exceptional things with their lives. So when there are people that can have a marriage and kids, but they haven't done much of anything with themselves and they're still not happy and fulfilled within themselves. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna say. So, what are your thoughts on the pretty much the dating scene in the Western culture or wherever country you've been to? What are your thoughts on pretty much dating in general?
Well,
Is
I
it
think
dying? Is it alive? Is it gonna be a thing? Is it gonna be gone? Is it gonna be where everybody's gonna be alone with more than often? Or like,
I mean, it depends on the individual. For me, I can just say that I'm not willing to compromise myself in order to be with someone else and be something that I'm not. And I can see that with a lot of people too. Especially with guys who are in relationships because they're desperate and afraid of being alone and they're just controlled like a puppet on a string. And it just kind of seems like that with me, with a lot of guys nowadays. You see guys that are driven around by their girlfriends rather than them driving themselves around. And that's a reflection on how men are seen nowadays. Men were more so expected to lead the way. And that's more so what women want. But it's like women are the ones who are leading the way and the guys just fall behind. I just think that's more so something that we're seeing now in the United States. But there are people there are different cultures that still retain that traditional set in which the guys are expected to lead the way. Maybe if you go and get yourself an Asian woman, or if you go ahead and get yourself, I don't know. I thought maybe I would do is if I can't find myself a good woman here, I might go ahead and move on down to Costa Rica and find myself a cute Latina who can cook and clean and be a good mom to kids and be like my cheerleader and just settle with that. So
so it sounds like you're interested in being a father.
potentially, I mean, I'm not thinking about that right now because I mean, I'm 26 years old. I don't want to have kids yet. I want to wait until I'm more settled down with my life, maybe 10 years down the line before, and find the right woman, of course, before I have kids. So that's just my approach to it. And I mean, I think I would be a good father. I'll be fair and firm and offer my kids good guidance and wisdom, but I'm not going to go and spoil them and
So
go out of my way to
so do you
do so.
believe is a healthy state as of right now in this generation to have kids at this point?
Let me not when you're young, because if you are in your late teens, early 20s, you're still basically a kid yourself. I mean, think back to when you were. I mean, how old are you, AJ? If you don't mind me asking.
29.
Shit, you're just 3 years older than me. I mean, think back to when you were in your late teens, early 20s. You probably didn't have your shit together. So why would you want to bring a kid in this world when you don't know yourself and you don't have your shit together? So I think that it's a better idea to wait until you're older, more settled down with yourself before you have kids. Because, I mean, what I found out is that people who have kids when they're very young are more likely to struggle in life and have a lot of stress, and they're also more likely to end up being poor for the rest of your life. And people who are older and more settled down with themselves are better off having kids at that point, and they're also going to be able to retain constantly have building wealth because they have built themselves from a point in which they invested time in themselves as far as a career and a good paying job or whatever when they were younger. And then when they get older, more settled, they can go beyond taking care of themselves and taking care of someone else, but still retaining prosperity in their lives. So that's how I see it. And like for a
So,
personal example,
so
if you don't mind,
what philosophy you consider yourself as like a purple pill, if you're familiar with the term purple pill?
you might want to elaborate on that with me.
Well, purple pill is basically a philosophy of red pill, but also they're aware of blue pill, but they kind of ignore the red pill side a little bit until they're ready to take the risk of finding a girl and all that, where and then turn purple pill. So they mix up the knowledge of red pill and a little bit of blue pill and try to come up with their own philosophy, but still taking a risk of, like you say, finding a girl, looking for kids, getting married, and stuff like that, like a risk factor.
I guess in a way, but my thing is that it's not about red pill or blue pill or whatever. I understand the concept. It's about self. It's about being able to pursue life as a way of reaching your own full potential as a human being. And some people, they can go ahead and have, they might find the right person to marry and have kids, and they're still able to go ahead and discover themselves and be happy with who they are. Whereas, some people, they're better off not having kids to begin with, or relationships is just not for them. It's about the self, it's about the individual and what works for them. That's where I'm coming from. So,
Mhm.
whatever label you want to put on it, I mean, that's up to you, but that's just how I see it. So I don't know where necessarily that puts me. Maybe that's a purple pill, but it's the self and the individual. That's what I think.
Yeah, if you look it up, it's by guys like Jamie and the rest of the people, and they talk about taking a risk approach to dating
Mhm.
instead of keeping it safe. And they focus a little bit on them, but they taking a huge risk in extreme things that's there's a risk factor involved in it of just
Mhm.
like focusing on, oh, don't worry, there's going to be a unicorn, a chameleonaire, I'm just going to have kids or whatever, that's it. There's no like playing safety around their life. There's more like, okay, let's take the risks and we take it from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it's not as though I'm dating girls all the time. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't go out very much. I work and I do my routine at home. I go out and hang out with my friends every once in a while, and I do my own thing. But I'm not dating anyone at the moment. The last time I was going out with a girl was a year ago that I met over at this homeless shelter where I was at the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. But she had a back and forth thing with this guy that, and I don't want to go into many details, but it got pretty bad. And I didn't want to get myself too involved. I mean, I keep in touch with her from time to time, but she already has a few kids from previous relationships, so I'm not interested
Yeah,
in
that's
going
single mother
closer.
status. Single
Yeah,
mother
I know.
status, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and she was actually your age. And I think she turned 30 this year. Pick up TARDIS. Pick up TARDIS. What is that? Retardis? What are you talking about?
Sorry, it is.
Successful endeavors. You come up with some of the most random stuff I've seen. I mean, I don't know where you're coming from or what you think, but it's like, are you from another planet or something? I'm not trying to make fun of you, but I mean, you got to come up a way of communicating your message that we can both understand. That's just what I'm saying.
I'm gonna look it up right now on Google. TARDIS. I think I'm familiar with it. Let me go look it up. TARDIS. Let
Okay,
me.
that's
No, I'm dead serious. I'm gonna go look it up. Let me see. According to Urban Dictionary, it say one who has no social economic class listing, doesn't understand any philosophy, and constantly criticize friends for using big words.
okay. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know about picking up someone like that. I mean, I would want a girl who doesn't care about what other people think and has her own thing going on, but she still retains a sort of self respect. What was the last thing that you said? MMMTM hashtags.
He's a content creator. MTMM. He's a if you're familiar with the word MGTOW, men going their own way.
Of course, yeah, of course I know
Yeah.
MGTOW.
So he's a content creator. He's a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting back to the subject, what were we talking about again before we got distracted?
We was talking about like does your style consider it a purple pill ish, and you kind of explain of the lifestyle you're going for, which is you're open minded to look for a woman, pretty much. Am I
I'm open
correct?
minded. I'm open minded to look for a good woman. I
Yeah,
mean, who
that's
has
one. Yeah.
something to offer, who has a lot to offer, and just I would be able to grow with. And she wants to bring out the best in me, and I bring out the best in her. I'm still open to that. Is it something that is very rare? Well, yeah. I mean, it's like mining for gold or silver or jewels. Of course, it's rare. You got to dig through a lot of dirt in order to find it. So, and you might never know when it's going to happen. It might happen within a few months, or it might happen in a few years or a few decades. So that's just how you stroll with it. You know, my thing is that I just want to keep living my own life on my own terms. And then if I come across someone who's I think is special and is worth growing with, then I'll pursue it. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm just going to keep going down my own path. That's my approach.
And you may have to worry about, Me Too, hashtag Me Too.
Uh,
Girls, trust me,
People
they
accusing
they
rape.
flip. Yeah, they flip like that. Yeah, yeah, these days. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I don't recommend pump and dump. If you're in America, go celibate.
Yeah, I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
go celibate. That's the safest way. It doesn't matter if the girls give you attention or everything. It's you have to be safe out there. You don't girls change their mind. They change emotions. Like 5 seconds, they're already in the mood for something. You don't know if they're happy, they want revenge, they want to show, you don't know. Their mood change after 5 seconds. So
Yeah,
that's
if they
why
give
it's
off
more
red
in.
flags like that,
Yeah.
if they give off red flags like that, if I find out that she's crazy and she's not stable, I stay the fuck away. Because I've seen some crazy girls, and I don't want to deal with it. It's just, oh my god,
But the
you
thing
know.
is, you gotta like peep it earlier. You gotta peep the signal earlier. Don't just fall for the nice caring sigh in them, because that will play it out pretty soon. Give it a few months, just like your moms, for instance. Your moms be nice to you until one day the bill comes, her mood change. It's not all over happy ever after, let's do, I'm gonna do this for the house. There's one point where she flipped out or curse or scream at your dad and say, "You got to pay this bill," or something, or anything.
You have to go into, you got
So
to
that's the
go.
same thing when it comes to girls, is their mood change. Everything changed. So you could be Dr. Phil to them, but they still have problems at
Dude,
after the
dude,
therapy sessions. You know what I mean?
Dude, you don't think I know about that? I mean, my mom was totally like that. My mom, for a long time, she's been a very emotionally and mentally unstable woman. She went down a really dark path in her life that made made my dad have full custody of us. And even when they were together, it was a tumultuous relationship. It was just a lot of arguing and sometimes fighting because they were two mentally and emotionally unstable people that just didn't have themselves together, but they were still afraid of being alone and very insecure. And that's one of the things, the main inspiration for myself, that I don't need to be in a relationship until I get myself together. So, because
Yeah.
my parents both didn't have themselves together.
But same goes for the women too. And I'm not talking in terms of financial because at the end they men don't really care about women's money. It doesn't keep our dick hard. It doesn't show me that, oh, you're gonna stick with me. But it's like you gotta do a lot of detective work for these girls. It's not just like, oh, they come up to me now, so I'm happily satisfied. It's like everything else. What's her background check? How many dudes she been with before me? That's the first thing I ask. How many dudes she been with before me? And if it's more than like three or four or five, it's easy could tell that okay, she's gonna be not like I'm not hers. It's just my turn,
Yeah, she's
pretty
got
much.
a
Yeah,
long
it's not.
list.
It's yeah.
She's got a long rap sheet. Then yeah, that's a
A
telltale.
unemployment gap. That's why I always have the analogy of unemployment gap. If I were to hire a good quality employee, you got to be solid as an employee to know how you would stick with one company and then why you left that company to all of a sudden be with me because I'm hired. I'm
Uh,
hiring. That's the same way. You got a question like, is he gonna stick with my company so I can make more money, or is he gonna monkey branch to another company?
yeah, of course. I mean,
you know?
I get that with I get that about women. That's why I see what they have to offer and bring to the table. If that I totally get that.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how you say monkey branching because that's what I'm thinking of doing with Red Lobster, where I'm working as a line cook. You know, I've been working there for almost a year now, and I'm planning on transferring over to Phoenix and then find myself some better work. Body count is important as fuck. Well,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. That's number one.
yeah, yeah. Because
That's why. Yeah.
she's been hopping on dicks, a bunch of dicks like musical chairs. That's like, oh boy, nope, I
But
can't
we
do.
but we live in America right now where it's the norm now. You
Uh
know.
huh.
As
Yep.
soon as they get out of school, they come in the workplace. You'll see more boyfriends now. You'll be like, what happened to that one boyfriend? Like, oh, I have a problem with this boyfriend, but I find this one right now. They always say that. And you're thinking, what happened to that guy, your first love, that first guy? What happened? You know? That's why I think that's why even me, it makes me appreciate of not thinking about relationship because I'm always in competition with another dude. It's like I'm
Mm.
not the only one dating her. There's other guys out there that's dating her.
Yeah,
So,
especially if she's a hot chick, and the hot chicks in
oh,
general,
oh,
you don't really
even
want to go.
fat girls. Oh man, don't tell. Even fat girls, and fat girls pretty much are known to give great head, right? So of course they're gonna be in a relationship too as well. Even
And
ugly, fat, everything. Yeah.
the whole thing with fat girls being a backup in case you don't find a nice girl.
Yeah. So if
But
yeah, so I think it's all about just being safe. That's the most important part. It doesn't matter what philosophy they're in, but it's about just being self-aware of them. Do a detective work. Be like Batman when you dealing with people. You gotta figure out who are they, what is their background, why they interested me in the first place. Is it because I have nice
I
clothes?
don't know about.
Is it because
I
I
don't
have a
think
nice
Bat.
car? Is it what is it?
Yeah, I don't know about being Batman, but being more like Sherlock Holmes. That's a better way to put
Exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to mastermind, figure out why the fuck they want to be with me. And I'm at the age where you been when I was young? Why you want me now? You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, women. The thing is with women is that they're looking for guys that they have a lot of potential and they're doing bigger and better things with themselves. And what is it that he has to offer me for a better life? But you can't just be with me because you want a better life. You got to bring something to the table too. And it's like, you ever watch this guy named Benjamin Mala?
Nah, never heard of him.
Benjamin Mala, he is a real estate developer in Florida who he's worth $250 million and he's made his living by basically buying apartment buildings and hotels and all that, fixing it up and selling them.
Mhm.
And I remember he made this video 3 years ago telling Kanye West about how to manage his money. Because at the time, Kanye West was like $50 million in debt or blew $50 million on fashion.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he talked about was you can't have people around you that have nothing to bring to the table. He said one thing in this video: if you ain't bringing ends to the table, then get the fuck up away from the table.
Yeah. Get out the kitchen. Get out of the kitchen. If you can't take the
Yeah,
heat, get out the kitchen.
yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
I mean, I know that a lot of women are not going to go for me. They might not like, the fact that I like to keep to myself. They might not appreciate some of the stuff that I like as far as music I listen to and my activities or just how I see the world. Because, I mean, one thing that might be in conflict with a lot of girls might be my how I view religion or how I might view politics or some of the things that girls typically like chick flicks or romance novels and all the other stuff.
Yeah, I
That's
say
not,
stay away from romance, then. That will
yeah,
brainwash you. Romance. It'll
yeah.
brainwash you.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, that has what all that stuff has done to women is create this unrealistic fantasy of what relationships and men are supposed to be.
So true. Yep.
And it's just like young girls watch Twilight and they think that's how guys are and that's how guys that's what they really want. But then women actually don't like nice guys. The reason why I think that's the case is because they instinctively see nice guys as being pussies. And the reason why they go after guys that are the bad boys is because they have more backbone, they're more dominant, and they're more exciting. And that's just one totally what they're attracted to. But then,
I
of course,
I also would like to add to, it's not mad they don't like nice guy. They don't like keeping the guy too. That's another point too. They don't like keeping the guy too. That
because they might get
they
bored,
want
they
they
probably
want
get
to
bored
have
with them.
options. So they have the
Yeah.
government and also have the husband. So if the
Yeah.
husband don't work, they have the government.
Or they
As
can
long as
take him for half of everything he's got through
exactly, yeah,
divorce.
exactly, yeah. So it's 50-50 for them. It's like, okay, one goes down, I have that one, the other, pretty much. They like option. They are loyal to their options. It's not a matter of because you're alpha, you don't take no bullshit. No, I don't believe in that stuff. It's because you are an option. That's why. And they are only loyal to their option.
Kind of reminds me of the Chris Rock when he was doing his comedy special Bring the Pain. You know, he talks about how women have platonic friends and
Uh
men don't.
yeah,
You
double
know,
I. I'll send you his channel. He wants to check out your channel.
yeah, I do have a channel.
Yeah,
He'll send it to you.
yeah,
But
I'll send you
anyways,
the link.
What Chris Rock said in his comedy special was that men don't have platonic friends. We just have women we haven't fucked yet.
Hmm.
And the reason why women have platonic friends, it's like a dick in a it's like a spare dick in a case, just in case.
Yeah, Chris Rock is hilarious.
Yeah, he is one of the greats. I mean, he not only is he funny, he tells a lot of truth too. And that's why I like as far as comedy and music I listen to or whatever. I got to get something out of it. It's not just entertaining. I got to get something out of it. You know, so that's, I mean, that especially with music, a lot of it nowadays, especially on
Yeah.
the mainstream channels, is just fucking garbage. You know, so I mean, talking about music, I know you say you like Nipsey Hussle, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like Nipsey Hussle.
Mm-hmm.
His early ones, Crenshaw and Money Made, I think, Money Bag.
Yeah, the mixtape series
Yeah.
Bullets Ain't Got No Name and the
Yep.
Marathon. That was some really good material.
Crenshaw is
You know,
my personal favorite. Crenshaw is my personal favorite one.
I haven't
Yeah.
checked that out yet. I need to go
Yeah, the
and get
Crenshaw.
some more. Speaking
Crenshaw.
of which, hold on.
Oh, snap. Got the Nipsey Hustle shirt. Nice.
Yep, I got it from a ghetto clothing store in my area. Like I don't think they have stores like Totomoto where you're at. I don't think they
Mm,
do.
nah, I don't see one here.
You know the ghetto clothing stores you go into that have stuff like a Pro Club and all that T-shirts that say
Yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah.
anything is possible, and all those weed shirts with women with their fat asses showing out. That's
Yep,
where I got this
definitely
from.
know what you're talking about. Those type of shirts, yeah. And then they
Yeah,
put the Marilyn Monroe shirt.
yeah, Marilyn Monroe with all the tattoos, or Marilyn
Exactly.
Monroe and Tupac just hanging out, chilling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
I see a lot of girls wear that, and it tells me a lot about them. Once you wear that, it tells me a lot about them. Marilyn
mhm,
Monroe shirt, it tells me a lot about them. That's a resume too.
mhm.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, about the music nowadays, I think that Nipsey Hussle was a very real artist, had a lot to say and a lot of great potential. And it's just too bad that he got shot by this dude who was jealous and envious of him, and that's just a reality within the black community, as I explained in my previous video about how, you know, single moms having a bunch of kids, and then it leads to their kids becoming a nuisance or problem to society. The ghetto clothing store is owned by,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course they do. Most of them do. Ghetto clothing store is owned by Asians and Arabs. Yeah, that's another issue. Is that, those places in the ghetto, they don't, you know, no offense, but black people don't own any of those places. It's mostly people of other cultures that own
Yeah.
those places.
Sadly true. Yeah, we don't own a lot of things. That we always in competition with each other. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, we don't get
it's like
along. We definitely
yeah,
don't
it's
get
like
along.
crabs in the bottom of a barrel. It's
Yeah.
just like blinded by hatred and jealousy and stupidity, and it's
Yeah, I
sad,
get
but
more
it's
girls
true.
than you. I'm in competition with you, you know? It's that craziness. Oh, I get more money than you. We can't work together, you know? It's just that type of competition. So, yeah, I hear you.
But anyway, so like getting back to the music I listen to. I mean, if you don't mind me going into that, this might be another topic I would give for another video. But I mean, for me, I don't really care too much about music of this generation. I like mostly more older music. You
Same,
know,
same here. Yeah.
when I was growing up, my dad was playing a lot of the classic rock of his generation, and also jazz, blues, rock and roll, reggae, and country bluegrass, some electronic music, and world music. He had a rich collection, and that planted a seed for me to appreciate music as I got older. And the main genre I listened to the most was old school hip hop from like the mid 80s up until the mid 2000s.
Hmm.
So that's like the golden era for me. But my favorite era would probably be the 90s,
Good,
with
good, good era.
Like Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted, to, like when Eminem was starting to come out. That's my era of hip hop that I enjoy the most. And it's just nowadays, it's just fucking garbage. These guys have nothing to say. There's no substance, and they sound like they're fucking retards. Have an IQ of 60, and they look like they're gayer than Elton John in a tree fort.
So true. So
And,
true, man.
yeah, it's just, and the production nowadays is just absolute garbage too. It's like they're using these dumbed down trap beats that are made off of a cheap computer program, rather than what DJs and producers were doing back in the days, in which they sample old school records and they put it through a drum machine, and they make like a rich, soulful like collage of music
Yep.
into something new. You know, that's just what I think about it. And Nipsey Hussle was an exception to that. I mean, I got his album, Victory Lap,
Victory
which
lap.
is
Yep,
really
that's a good one. Yep, that's a good
yeah,
one.
which is really good. But I liked his earlier mixtapes better because they had that more old school, like a West Coast sound to it.
And he
And
used the old school beats to freestyle on it too. I
yeah,
remember.
I remember on the
Yeah.
Bullets Ain't Got No Name Volume One, in which he was using beats like Black Superman by Above the Law,
Yep.
or Bitches Ain't Shit by Dr. Dre, or was it Bang Bang by Dr. Dre too. that's the type of old school stuff I like to listen to. I mean, you can listen to Chronic 2001 by
Mm.
Dr. Dre, and that will still blow away the production of what's popular nowadays.
I agree for sure. But once they jump in the industry and they got to please the industry, they got to make certain music they don't normally make, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
So
because
they lose their creativity on controlling what music they make. That's why I have highly respect for solo artists and artists that join the
solo,
label.
solo, and independent
Independent
artists.
artists. Yes, I have more respect for them. Even though it's hard for them to financially secure themselves, I have more respect for them because not only they make their own money, but they own their skill. They own their like their style of music. It's not controlled by the industry or by a company say you gotta do this and then you make money. Like fuck that shit. You have your own style and you make your own money.
Oh
You
yeah, I
know,
mean the
you're
record
not.
labels nowadays aren't even
Yeah,
worth it. I mean, why would you want to go sign to a record label when you can go ahead and record and mix and master your own music at
yeah,
home? You don't need to do that. Years ago you had to because that equipment was too big and way too expensive for you to get on your own. And you had to get signed to a record label. But the compromise starts immediately, especially nowadays with 360 deals, in which they give you a lot of money up front but they take a majority of the money that your music sales bring in, and they also take a percentage of your merchandising, your concerts, and your endorsements, and among anything else related to your music, they take a percentage.
uh,
And you just don't make very much money nowadays like you used to, especially the fact that they have people, younger kids are not buying CDs and vinyl anymore. They're doing digital downloads or just
streaming.
pirating music.
Yeah, streaming.
Streaming, yeah. I've heard that you only get paid a few pennies per stream. That shit is nothing. You know, people used to go to a record store and buy a CD and vinyl, like I still do, in order to support the artist. And there was more money back then. I mean, even with music videos, like you know Hype Williams.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Big one.
Yeah,
He's a legend. Yeah, he's a
and
legend.
he's a music
Director.
video legend, you know, and he had a
Director.
lot more money to buy to go and make his videos because there was more money being made off of music back then. But
Yeah.
now there really isn't, you know, and it's hard and you get the compromise is so big nowadays with music industry. So it's best that, you know, you do it on your own. I mean, you got to give credit to guys like Tech Nine for doing it on his
On
own.
his own. Yes, he did. He really made it
And, you
on his
know,
own.
he did some mainstream stuff here and there, but he was still able to maintain most of his artistic integrity. And I think he's a very, very underrated rapper. You know, I'm surprised that not too many people would consider him to be among the greats. You know, but
And
you know
that's
he's
because a lot of people still don't know Tech Nine. Only the
yeah. That's what I was
industry,
about to get to.
because the industry got their own audience. Tech Nine has to work hard to get his audience versus the industry. It's like already pre-made with brainwashed audience who are not familiar with other music to know that. Wait a minute, I've never heard this guy, but he's sick. But they've
Yeah, it's
been,
just, you know, I
you
think
know,
what it is that in American culture, a lot of it is based on passivity and consumption. You know, we're told to like certain things that the radio likes and what the TV tells us to buy, among other things. But
mhm.
the single mother epidemic creating a nuisance generation. Yeah, that's true.
Yep,
That's
agree.
true. I mean, I just, you know, I'll lead into that, but, you know, our culture is based on people being told what to do and what to buy so that these major companies and corporations can make millions or billions of dollars off of us. And that's what the mainstream music industry is. You know, it's not art they're creating. American culture is focused on worshiping women. Yeah, that's true. But, anyways, it's like we are conditioned and indoctrinated and programmed to be money making machines, the ignorant masses supporting these very extremely wealthy people who only are don't really care about us. They just use us as a means to go into the bank. And a lot of these rappers brag about how much money that they're making and living in these nice expensive mansions, but that's just leased to them. And the people who actually live in those places are the record label CEOs,
Yep.
producers, writers, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you don't own it. You don't own it. You're just renting.
Yep. You
Yeah.
know, That's just how it is. And so that's why for me, I don't listen to the radio. I don't support a lot of the music that's out nowadays. Some guys are really good. I mean, I like probably one of the few albums of this generation that almost came close to really blowing me away was Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar.
Nice.
And, you know, that's one of the very few albums that really blew me away. And I think Kendrick's earlier stuff is better. I mean, he's a bit mainstream, more pop now, but that's just how it is. When you're young and you're relatively unknown, a lot of times that's when an artist is at their best. They're young, they're raw and hungry, and they have something to prove. And then once they go ahead and they make a good name for themselves
Yeah.
and develop a reputation, they start getting sloppy and lazy.
And then they try to figure out, how do I do this to get audience from the industry? That's what they're focused on, getting audience from the industry, because they know that the industry got most of the audience pretty much.
Oh yeah, because I
And
mean we're
yeah,
brainwashed from when we were kids to like what they're like
yeah,
and eat food at McDonald's and all this other bullshit.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
totally. Yep, they're basically like the elites, basically. Yeah, they control everything.
Yeah, and I don't think that really the people like the president are the ones that have power. A lot of the power comes from these major companies and corporations
Yep,
because these major companies and corporations lobby the government to create measures to benefit them, and they control a lot of our media and information and what we buy, and they give us all these jobs. Walmart is one of the biggest companies, if not the biggest company in the world. You know, and you get paid minimum wage and are treated almost like a slave at these places while they're making billion the Waltons are making billions of dollars. And we keep these people in power because I mean we're indoctrinated in school to become obedient workers and not to think a lot
exactly.
about pursuing ourselves and who we
Yeah,
are. You know, that's one of the main reasons why I left school early was because I just didn't care about what they were teaching me, and I figured out that they were just trying to brainwash me to become an obedient worker. Even though I was in college for a while and I eventually saw some more of the same thing, I got a little bit more out of college than I did in high school, but I got out of school because I realized that, you know what? I don't want to end up becoming tens of thousands or hundreds of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt with a worthless degree that I have to pay off for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to get out of it unless I die if I don't pay it back. And it's just not really worth it nowadays.
yeah. Being in debt is like the average woman with body counts in their life.
Yeah, and women I think are not. I think women are also not as responsible when it comes to money. They like to go shopping and go out with their friends and blah blah blah. You know, that's one of the main reasons why men usually have more money than women.
Yeah,
Because I mean, let's be honest. The richest people throughout history have been men. And some of them got them through means in which were bad and illegal, especially for their time. But it's like we are better when it comes to hustling and making money than women. Women just don't really have it in them. If they are very wealthy, a lot of times it has to do with something feminine, like fashion or cosmetics, stuff like that. But a lot of times I noticed, I checked a list a while ago of some of the wealthiest women in the world, and it's typically women who co-own a company that their husband
yes,
started.
so true. If they don't have to, like, do all this to attract, man, all they have to do is say, I want to co-own your company. I want to work with you. That's all they have to do. And then they just dress nice, show their titties and ass, do anything to seduce them. Be like, yeah, I want to work with you. And then the guys be like, oh, there's a beautiful woman that want to work with me. Okay, I'll work with her. But she's smart because she see him as, okay, his company's making a lot of money, so let me make money as well too, and I'll be a team member or shit. It's true. Yeah.
And they come in with the intentions of going ahead and just using you to get what they want. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
and
think.
sometimes the companies don't even do well because all they care about is themselves. They just care about control
Uh huh.
and get
Yeah,
out
of
of it.
course.
Yeah. It relates to their relationships. Yeah. Oh, now they want you because you got a six pack ab and you make a lot of money. But they just be like, oh, I want to be a co-worker, a co company to your life because now your life is better. It's like, where was you been when I was broke? When I had nothing? It's like, oh, all of a sudden I'm nice. People treat me better. I'm getting a job. Now you want to be a co-worker of my life? You know, it don't make sense.
Yeah, you could be a nice guy and be broke, but women are not going to like you
Yeah,
because of that.
that too.
It's just
Yeah,
how it is.
exactly. That too. Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
Totally true.
So, as far as me right now, I'm making pretty decent money. I'm working at Red Lobster as a line cook, but that's not the end all for me. The only reason why I'm working at Red Lobster is because it's a way for me to gain more knowledge and experience in the restaurant industry. Because I started cooking and taking it more seriously a couple years ago when I worked in the kitchen at this place called the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. I worked there for 3 months, in the volunteer work program, and I was able to really enjoy myself. And I grew from being a dishwasher to being a kitchen lead. And then I said, this is what I want to do. And I went through a few jobs, and I finally got this job at Red Lobster where I'm at in Palm Desert,
Mhm.
and I'm working for full time with benefits. Things are slowing down a little bit. I could probably be making more money by selling more stuff on eBay and getting some side work here and there. But it's a means to go ahead and relocate to somewhere else by transferring, which I'm planning doing in Phoenix because I think there's more opportunity for me to grow, and then just build on from there in working in several places to build up my knowledge and experience, and especially on my off time before I create something on my own. And by that time, I'll be more settled down, making more money, and of course, more ladies are going to be more attracted to me. But that's
Be safe. Be safe, man. That's all I can say. Be
it.
safe. Super
Mm-hmm.
safe.
Mm-hmm.
Background
Yeah.
check. Background check caps. It's just like when you're buying food. When you buy food, right? Don't look
Right.
at just because the picture looks like the food looks nice. You gotta look at if there's hair in there, what stuff, what ingredients they put in there that's not supposed to be on the food. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Or it's like
always a background check.
I've been renting out rooms for a while ever since I left the mission where I was, and they do a background check on you, your credit history. Do you have any serious criminal
Exactly.
history,
Yeah.
and all this other stuff?
Yep.
So yeah, of course, I think you should have standards. That's why I liked your video. You should have high standards.
Yep.
You know?
That's it.
So yeah, I mean, that's just me right now. Working, enjoying myself, and all that, and just going ahead and using this as a means to express myself and get the word out. I mean, where are you at? You're over in New York, AJ?
Jersey, New Jersey.
Ah, New Jersey. What city?
I'm in Orange. Orange. Yeah.
So
I'm close
it's
to New York. Close to New York.
all right. So you're
Yeah.
close to New York, but I mean, you're are you're can you go ahead? Do you know where Redman lives?
Jersey. In Jersey.
What's that?
I heard Redman used to live in New Jersey. He's from New Jersey, but I don't know where he's live at now.
Well, I mean, I guess he did move. I just remembered,
Yeah,
what that
he
appointment that he had on MTV Cribs when he's still in Jersey, and he was living like
yeah,
most of
he's
us
from
regular
Jersey.
dudes
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, yeah. But I had seen him went to New York 2 years ago. I don't know if he lives there, but I had saw him in person 2 years ago in
Oh,
Harlem.
oh
So
yeah, I'm sure he has a lot of love in Harlem, and I'm
yeah,
pretty
New
sure a
York.
lot of New York rappers consider him to be among their main. He's among their main influences and what inspired them to rap. I mean,
He's
Redman's
hilarious.
among my personal favorite rappers, also.
In real
You
life,
know,
he's hilarious. In real life, he's funny as hell.
I know he is. I
He's like
seen
a
videos of him.
cornball, but he's funny.
He's one of the main guys I would love to smoke weed with if I ever had the chance, if I could keep up with him. You know, I'm
Yeah.
sure he's even more hilarious when he's high. Work hard and retire early. Too many. blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's what I plan on doing. You know. So, anyways, like, what else?
Oh, he's from Brick City. Yeah, he's from Jersey. Yeah, Brick
Yeah, yeah,
City, New
yeah.
Jersey.
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying. Brick
that's not
City,
far. That's not far at all. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it's from Brick City.
for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I mean, I guess for both of us, what we have in common is that we're just doing what we're doing as a way to just get our word out and express ourselves. That's the same with you, right?
Yeah, totally. I'm the kind of person where some people are extreme and be like, "Oh, oh, you this, you that." I say this. I show them the sign that there's a danger involved. You're the one that's gonna lead it. It's your life. Me, I know my philosophy is a little bit different from everyone, but I'm not gonna force my philosophy on everyone. There's different religions, different way of how they live their life. It's your life, you know. But I will
Yeah,
defend
yeah.
my
I understand
philosophy.
this.
If somebody have a problem with my philosophy, I would defend it and be like, okay, you know, such and
Yeah,
such. You know.
yeah. The thing is also is that nobody has all figured out. There's all these different interpretations of religion and God,
Yeah.
and that's just something that honestly is make believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're religious or not, but to
No,
me,
I'm
it's
not
just a bunch of
religious.
fairy
Yeah.
tales.
I'm just
It's a
using
bunch of
that as
fairy
an
tales.
analogy when it comes to red pill, purple pill, black pill, MGTOW. Is that everyone has their own version, and sometimes people have to go through it to change their philosophy on life. But what matters is spreading the knowledge and letting people know that you got to be safe out there because it's not like back in the day. Everything is changing. Social media, the people you talk to, the girls that check you out, everything's changing. It's not normal. So it's all about being safe. It's not normal the way it's going. The dating scene and the attraction between men and women, it's not normal. You know. So
Yeah, a lot of times, I just think about it like this. It's more worth it to just keep to yourself because you don't want to
yeah.
get caught up in the insanity in this world.
Yep.
An older,
Totally.
yeah,
Totally.
an older friend of mine, he told me this: to be normal is to be insane, and I see that a lot.
Yep. That's another good quote too. But I'm talking in terms of in general how the world was what it was before, but things change like in the world. You got women
I think, in a
working. You
way,
got women working now than ever before. Before it was housewife. Things changing now. The social change now. Now more women are working, so it requires stress, lack of males, and lack of mates. More importantly, mates because they're focused too much on working that they forgot their age. Oh my gosh, I'm 40 years old now. How come I'm not married or I'm not, I don't have a boyfriend yet or anything, because they waste so much time to fit that social norm where they know their nature is supposed to be to watch the men, you know? It's to be interested in men, not be in competition with men. That's like backwards, you know?
I mean, in certain ways, society gets better, but in other ways, society gets worse, and it's just how it
Yeah,
changes.
just yeah. And then
I
you got
mean,
the marriage thing. It's like unnatural. Like I don't believe in marriage. Marriage is like it's a Trojan horse to the government. It's a Trojan horse. It's not like, animals don't get married. There's no such thing as marriage in animals. So why there's marriage in here? What It's
it's a
yeah.
means in which I think that it puts people together in relationships with more supposedly security,
Yeah.
and it's a way to secure relationships so there wouldn't be infidelity. But people get married and they cheat all the time, and it's just because you're married does not mean that you're still not happy and secure within yourself, and that brings a lot of drama to their relationship. I mean, I
Hmm.
see that I've seen that with my grandparents. I've seen that with my own parents growing up when I was a kid. I can recall when I was a kid, my favorite day of the week was Thursday because both my parents weren't home and I didn't have to deal with their drama. They were on couples therapy or a group. Sunday was my least favorite day of the week, though, because there was no guarantee that it was going to be a good day in which we all enjoy ourselves, or they would go ahead and just go at each other in the car,
Yeah.
and that's what I grew up with. But I said, okay, I don't need to live my life like this. So you
Yeah.
learn from other people's mistakes, even
Yeah.
your own parents and your own family.
Yep, exactly. That's why I'm one of the few that enjoy my bachelor life. Everybody else want to get married. Everybody else is have a bunch of kids. I have no kids at my age, so that's good. So I'm pretty much a black sheep in the family, pretty
Yeah,
much.
I mean, who cares? You know, you
Yeah,
just
yeah. And I just do
you
my
do
thing.
your own thing and enjoy your life, and
Yeah,
just
do your thing.
understand that
Yeah,
no one can give you anything, and no one can take anything away from you. It's
yeah.
just what you choose to do with yourself.
And the best thing is cutting them off. That's one of the most game changers in my life is cutting them off. I'm
For
not
sure,
saying fuck you to them. I'm not saying anything. I tell them, yo, I have to do this. I'm focusing on this right now, so you won't hear from me for a long time, and that's it. And
for
keep it.
sure.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. I
So
mean,
is there any questions you want to ask me, man, or any topics?
well, I mean, what else can I say? Can we talk about? I mean, I think we can go into agreement about how music is nowadays, and
Yep.
just yada yada yada. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the whole political situation with Donald Trump and Iran. I mean, that's becoming a bit of a shit show,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay. I mean, I don't know if Trump did the right thing or not, but from what I hear, the general in Iran was a murderous warlord or something like that that needed to be taken out. But I kind of see it like this, is that, the Middle East is just, oh my God, problem after problem after problem. They can never get their shit together. You know, I just think that, I don't know what you think, but we shouldn't have really gotten ourselves involved in there to begin with, because I mean, that's part of the reason why we had 9/11, and we had all these terrorist organizations going ahead and hating us because we want to go in there and get involved with their culture and how they should be, and then that gets us into a bad situation. I mean, what do you think about it?
We're fucked. That's what I
Oh,
think.
you think that there's going to be a World War III?
Yeah, that's what I think. But I try my best not to stick to politics too much, but I know that it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, I know.
It goes in
I
all
don't know.
angles. World War III, anything could be anything. It's any worst case scenario. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think that even if we do go to war with Iran, I think that for us as a U.S. military power, we'll probably be able to take them out, because I mean we're the largest military in the world and we have a lot of weapons. So I don't know if we really are going to have a competition with them in case something does happen. But what about with their allies and them getting on it? Because that's how World War I and World War II started.
Hmm.
Allied countries going at it with each other, and then the whole world's at war. I
Ah,
mean,
yeah.
if the world, if it does get that bad, maybe I might want to just get all my money together and move down to Costa Rica, because I mean, Costa Rica is like the Switzerland of Latin America. It doesn't have any problems with nobody. They don't even have their own military, which is kind of a setback, but they don't want problems with anybody. They're just living their own life. They have a saying called "Pura vida," pure
Ah,
life. Just enjoy yourself.
yeah.
You know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's like I don't like a lot of the politics in the United States. It's like I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I don't really consider myself liberal or conservative. You know, I'm I don't get myself involved with any sort of groups like that. And the extreme liberals and the extreme conservatives are just like two bowls of shit with slightly different colors and smells, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The the extreme liberals are fucking pussies, and the extreme conservatives are fucking retards. That's how I see it.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. B.
So,
Definitely.
so
So,
yeah, it's like
so
George Carlin said: when you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show, but when you're born in America, you're given a front row seat.
yep. Like a front row seat to a horror movie, pretty much.
A horror
Yes.
movie or a comp. a horror movie or a horrible comedy like a Tyler Perry movie, something like that.
Yeah, we're gonna see Tom Cruise featuring there trying to save the world. Tom Cruise, and what's the movie called? The End of Tomorrow.
I
Yeah,
don't think I've seen that one, but I don't care that much for Tom Cruise, anyways.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh, what else I can really say? I mean, what else? That's more like the deeper subjects of me right now. Right now, I'm just hanging out at my grandparents' house because I'm trying to help out my grandpa go ahead and get his car from a body shop later on this afternoon when it's ready. So I'm just chilling out in the meantime. Where are you up to?
Making content as usual, working and working out, trying to get my health together in this freaking toxic Western society that I'm in to keep me calm. So focusing on my workouts
Mhm,
and staying away from marriage. I'm about that staying away from marriage because I don't believe in it.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I'm against marriage, so I don't believe in that stuff. But
Hey,
if
whatever
people want
floats
to
your
get
boat.
married, it's everybody's choice. But I'm just warning that be extra, extra, extra careful and really think about the risk there is, and kids too. Even having kids, there's a risk, you know.
Do you remember what I said in my recent video of people having kids they can't take
Yep,
care of? You know, how
agree.
much it costs to raise a child?
Yep. And not only that too, with this everything is guy centric these days. Like even if parents do their job, there's also be affected outside their parents when they get to work and when they deal with people. They got to be very, very careful with themselves when their parents are out of their control. As soon as they grow older and they live at their home, pretty much. That's
You
the
know,
real world.
yeah, it's like some of the kids I see at my job at Red Lobster. They still don't have themselves together. They kind of want to mess around and
Yeah.
do what they want to do. And it's because they weren't raised with that much discipline and preparation for the real world. They were raised perpetually as kids.
Mhm.
And especially, this is like a subject, the social justice warriors, the extreme feminists or whatever. These are a bunch of entitled, spoiled brats that were never told no. And they think that because you disagree with them, that you hate, it's hate speech and all this other stuff. They're just a bunch of spineless jellyfish that can't handle the real world. That's what it's coming to with a lot of these younger kids.
Yep. Yep. Totally.
It's just like, that's why I don't identify with a lot of people around my age because they
Me too.
haven't grown up and they
Same.
don't
I
have the
tend to
shit.
I tend to like I don't know. Certainly I tend to like people who are older than me. Like someone have more wisdom and get to learn their past. Like for example, marriage. I had friends who were married that give me lines like you are going the right path. If I was you, I wish I lived that life of just like, not having kids and worrying about marriage and having girlfriend. I wish I was you, young man. You're lucky. But I learned from him because when he tells me about how he go through with his wife, it scares me. It's like, whoa, Jesus Christ. Like, thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah, I
I'm not
remember.
thank God I'm not married.
Yeah, I just remember I was watching this older recording of a Tom Likas broadcast in which there was a study done in which people who are childless are happier than people who have children.
I
I can
agree.
understand
I
that.
freaking agree. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it depends on the person too. There's the TFLs and the incels, which I have few of them that subscribe to me because they see I'm very open minded to everybody's philosophy, but at the same time warning them that getting girls is not all sunshine and rainbows. You basically have to deal with bitchy chicks when you're in a relationship with them. Just because they're nice to you and kumbaya, everything's gonna be happy. You're gonna go stress like married people. You're gonna go through stress, all types of bullshit like married people do. So so
Yes,
don't yeah.
even women don't like other women. Even other
Oh
women
yeah.
consider other women bitches.
So if a girl's checking you out and you single, I mean if you're like with a chick, if a girl's checking you out, you know, your women's gonna get jealous of you because this other girl's checking you out, and they're gonna think, oh, are you cheating? Are you,
I just think, and also you know this because you're a black dude, AJ. I mean, even
Yeah,
a lot of black women I know they call themselves bitches all the time for
yeah.
fun, but also because I think black women, as far as I can see, they're more so at each other. So, would you say that's a proper statement to make about them?
I say this is that they lack a lot of them lack femininity. I say
Uh,
they do
yeah.
because the rap culture, the not having a father, they there's in in those type of race, the our side, they lack fathers. Most of them that's in there, they lack fathers, so they don't have the experience of how they deal with men
So they
because
feel as
of
though
lack.
they have to toughen up and become men.
Yeah, basically. So they lived in this delusion thinking that their dating life, their status or what it is how they treat their men, or how their
Mhm,
parent life is in their life is how they treat their men. So they've
mhm.
been pretty much misinterpret with how they carry their life. So it creates them depressing and screaming and arguing, even more than likely get into violence with people because that's what they've been raised by. But when you have both
That's it.
parents, you have a different perspective. When you have both parents in your life, you have a different perspective on how you treat the dating life, how you treat men, and everything else, you know? Because you know that, oh, I have experience with my father, and my father, we had a good relationship with my father. So that's how I treat when I meet a guy, just like my father. I treat him nice and respect. It's like
Oh
training.
yeah, and
It's like,
excuse me for saying this, but I'm gonna use a word in here, but it's like when black girls are raised to say, "Oh, your father ain't shit, that nigga ain't shit," and all this other stuff, and that goes to how they treat guys too. And I mean, excuse me
yep,
for saying that word, but that's just what's quoted a lot, as I can see from other black men, on how black women have treated them and how black women portray themselves a lot. So
yeah. Everything comes from the home. Everything comes from the home. How they
for
turned out,
sure.
everything comes from the home. It's no
Yeah.
coincidence. Yeah.
For sure. And I think finding a good girl is really tough. You know,
Oh,
It-
oh.
this is just,
I recommend people to travel, get if they want to get a good. So I mean, I hate the term good girl, but I like the term less less of a burden, less of a headache. I say travel and educate on what country that's less feminized in a way. Like if you go to somewhere that's in a village, in a village, people are too poor to be feminists. Like you, in the village because they don't have options like American girls do. The
they're
typical
not
American girls,
and they're not exposed
yeah,
to that modern radical
Cardi
toxic feminist
B, all this
mentality.
shit. Yeah, they be like, "What the fuck is Cardi B?" At times, like, "What the hell is a Cardi B? What the hell is that?" You know? And you
Yeah.
you look at them like, wow, you don't know what Cardi B is, and you're so nice to me. And that's because they don't live that society where we live in, where everybody knows Cardi B. So I want to be like Cardi B. It's cool to be a bitch, That's a thing now. But in their country, they don't know what is that. What is that? And they're afraid to disrespect men over there because they don't grow up from that. They have a different way of raising them. You
Well,
know?
they come from a culture in which your options of having and being a woman is you get married and you have kids. Otherwise, you have no status and no opportunity.
Yeah.
You know.
But since we're both Americans, do not bring them in America. Let them stay in their country.
Or move,
Huh?
move on over there
Yeah,
if you can. If you
pretty
like the
much. Yeah.
lifestyle, anyways.
Because when you bring them here, you make them American. They're not their they're not the way they used to be. You're basically making them American. You're making them feminists. Just bringing them in America, pretty much.
Mhm. For
So
sure.
let them stay in their country. That's my advice. you know,
Hmm.
that's a better
Yeah. For sure.
option than dealing with girls in here. That's a better option.
Hmm.
It's all
Yeah.
about men having options.
I mean, here's the thing I come to realize that I've been thinking about is that we as guys, especially here in the United States, have been raised to think that we need women to be happy and feel fulfilled.
Yeah,
But I think it should be opposite. Women need us more than we need them.
I agree.
Because here's the thing. I know that if there's some women that are watching right now, they're not gonna like what I have to hear, but who have been the real movers and shakers of the world? Man, look, who makes the roads? Who builds the cities? Who who's in charge of all the big decisions in the world? And who has been the main gender that's responsible for a lot of the major innovations and inventions and creations throughout history? It's been men.
Yep.
You know, and the reason why this is the case, one of the main reasons why, is because men have to do more on their part to attract women than women have to in order to attract men. You know, men have to go more so out of the way to compete with other males to prove themselves to the females, whereas the females look around at the males to see who's the best suitor for them. It's like, with women, what we basically want is a girl who's cute, pretty, nice personality, doesn't give us too much of a hassle, and is basically going to be like our cheerleader. Women are looking for a guy who is strong, confident. He's got a good job and he has a nice house and a nice car. He's got this much money in the bank and blah, 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 blah.
Mm. Yeah.
It is
Yep.
what it is.
Yep. That's what it is. Yeah.
You know,
Um,
I mean, of course, if I say this on TV now, I'm gonna be called, oh,
Now,
you're, you're.
TV means television. If you break it down, television. If you put it together, it turns into the word television. Yeah.
I don't watch. I don't.
Television.
I don't even watch TV, man. I don't care to watch TV because there's a lot of bullshit,
Yeah.
and bullshit is everywhere. That's why I don't choose to get caught up what everyone else is doing. I just keep to myself and do my own thing. I don't get caught up in all the bullshit. I'm
Yeah.
sure you're the same way too.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. Mostly watch it on watch everything online because I get
Yeah,
to control my content.
yeah, for sure.
TV, you can't control your content. You
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
control
I watch a lot of stuff mostly on YouTube or I get Netflix,
unless
and
you
that's
have
pretty
smart
much it.
TV. Smart TV you can, but if it's like a regular TV with no internet in there, you can't connect. You can't control your content to what you
Hmm.
want to watch.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So,
Cool.
alrighty. So, any more questions, man, before we wrap it up?
No, what else can I say? I gotta think about some more stuff to think about. I just came into this just kind of going with the flow, not really expecting anything, just see how it goes. But I think we click pretty good, man. I mean, we think a lot the same. I think we can have a respect for each other. I mean, I don't know about meeting up sometime because you're all the way on the northeast. I'm on the southwest,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I think we clicked pretty good, man. I mean, it would be nice to bring in other people. Like I love that live stream you did with Doc G67,
One of my
and
favorites. Yeah, it's one of
yeah,
my
he's a
favorites.
cool dude. I've been watching him for a while.
Yeah,
I like the stuff he has to say. I mean, he's an example of a guy who's just choosing to live his own life on his own means and doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. I mean, all kudos to him, man. So
he deserved millions of subscribers. He deserved more subscribers.
yeah.
He has too much good content. Too much good content. I'm surprised
Mhm,
his channel not growing.
mhm.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. I mean, what else do I have? What else can I say? I mean, you're cold as fuck on over there in New Jersey.
Yep.
I'm
Correct.
It's pretty nice out over here. I mean, a lot of people coming down here to enjoy the weather during the fall, winter, and spring. That's when we're really busy. Summertime here, it gets to about 110 plus degrees with 30-40% humidity, sometimes low over 120, being a low desert.
Yep.
You guys don't get that, you know. but you do get the frigid fucking cold that can just it can freeze your fucking ass off.
Yeah,
I
we
bet.
just yesterday we just have a warning of 25, 25 miles per hour wind. So it was
25
straight.
miles.
Yeah, of wind.
That's gonna make it even more cold.
Yeah, it's like when you drive and the wind blows like on in front of you. Yeah, it's cold. But it's starting to warm up now. We're getting weird weather
Mhm.
this past week.
Mhm.
Like no like yeah. All right, so I'll end the stream, but let me know if you want to do a stream again. Great conversation.
Pretty cool, man. Nice getting to talk with you. But
No
we'll
problem.
figure out what else we can discuss. Maybe if you want to bring some more people on in and invite us to do an all
Yeah, but this is good
more.
right here, so I can introduce you and everybody. It's an introduction
For
stream.
sure, man. I appreciate the opportunity. But anyways, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take care of my grandpa's car, and then just keep going with my day. I mean, I got my day off, so I just want to spend some time with you. But I got other things to take care of. You got other things to take care of. So we'll just figure something else out some other time.
All right, no problem. Take care, man. Be safe. Stay away from
Hmm.
marriage. Stay away from cohabitation. Stay and all that stuff. Take care.
If anything, that's not going to be with for a while with the right person, unless it's with the right person. And if not, then it is what it is. I just got to
Travel,
keep.
man. Travel. Go to the
Yeah, I,
village. Travel.
yeah, I got to go ahead, just live my own life and just enjoy my.
All right,
You know,
man. Take care, man.
peace, man.
All right,
See
see
you
ya.
around.
See ya.
Right. Bye.